Say goodbye to your freedom. That is going to be the title of this video, and it's going to be in relation to if you decide that you would like to move in with a girl. If you want to move in with, your girlfriend or what have you, say goodbye to your freedom. And this is going to be, all credit to this video is going to be from Daniel H. Someone that you guys may have seen in the comments. I see him in comments on a lot of other MGTOW creators and Red Pill content. So Daniel H., one of our own here, he gave all of the advice for this video. I'm going to read it. It was straight off a comment that he had on a video I made about should you move in with a girl. And he just said these things that, quite honestly, are way better said than I could have said because I've never lived with a woman. I've been just dating around, bouncing around, doing my own thing. I've never experienced this, and he has. He's moved in with 2 different women. So, again, all credit to Daniel H. here. I'm going to put up his comment here on the screen so you guys can see it and read along with me. But, man, this is good stuff. And this really does give a useful point of view to guys that haven't done this yet, because there's a lot that you just don't even think about when it comes to taking that next step. And actually, here, I'll say this again. My whole philosophy, again, is I hang out with women. I can date around and all that stuff. But I see the dangers that can come, not only with like common law and stuff like that, with moving in with a woman. Her attraction for you is going to fade. She's going to put you through all these other tests. So moving in with a woman, to me, is dangerous territory. We're going to talk about that right here. So here it goes. So he commented, absolutely not. Moving her in means she expects you to give up all other things in your life that bring you joy. If you love hitting the gym after work, say goodbye to that. If you like coming home and playing around on some video games to unwind before dinner, say goodbye to that. If you like your clothes put up a certain way, say goodbye to that. If you like the way your place is set up, say goodbye to that. If you like going to the batting cages or the shooting range on your days off, say goodbye to that. If you like going to your parents' house on Sundays for dinner, say goodbye to that. If you like getting ready for work in your own master bathroom, say goodbye to that. If you like getting ready for work, if you like your clothes hanging in a closet instead of stuffed in a drawer, say goodbye to that. If you just like hanging out with your buds to have some bro time, say goodbye to that. If you like checking in on old friends on Facebook from time to time, say goodbye to that. If you like being on time for anything, say goodbye to that. If you like simply reaching for your deodorant without digging through 100 makeup items on your bathroom sink, say goodbye to that. If you like uninterrupted anything on TV, say goodbye to that. If you like being able to set your phone down without someone trying to snoop through it, say goodbye to that. If you like always having enough toilet paper in your house, say goodbye to that. Heck, if you love your friends, say goodbye to them. I could go on and on of all the things you'll be expected to give up and no longer find joy from. But I'll just make it simple. You go to work. Sorry, we had to go to a new one. I'll make it simple. You go to work, you come home, and the rest of your time will be determined by her. And if you don't do what she says or tell her no, you'll get falsely accused of domestic violence. Been there, done that. So thank you, Daniel H. He even put in the next post, because I was saying I'm thinking about using this for a video, and he said, totally fine. Feel free to use it in my post and quote me on all of it. So again, thank you, Daniel, for that. And this, to me, is really eye-opening, because if you have been through a situation where you've been living with a woman or you've been married, then you probably already know a lot of what he just said there is very true. But to those of you guys that haven't done that yet, and I'm one of those guys that hadn't done that, I've never done that. I've literally just lived the bachelor life for my entire adult life. It's easy. Here's something that I was wrong about before, is that it's easy for me to sit back and play armchair quarterback and be like, well, yeah, if you want to go hang out with your buddies after work, go do that. If you want to go to the gym after work, go do that. And I still would say that. But what I have, I guess what an outsider like me looking in on the situation, what I've come to realize is that it's just not that simple. It's not that simple to say it and do it, because what we forget, when I say we, a guy like me, one of the single guys, always, if I were telling my buddies, like, come on, man, don't do that, don't check in with her, all that stuff. Again, I think that you shouldn't check in and all that, but when you're in that situation, if you put yourself in that situation, it's really hard to live that way, because you will have everybody in your guys' life, like, that knows her. She will spin the story to all of her friends and all of this and all of that, and then it will make you sound like such a bad guy. And then she can always do the cry thing or the you never hear from me, all that. So another thing too is that then her friends of hers will tell her, well, if he's not going to do this and this for you, then stop giving him sex, stop doing this for him, stop blah blah blah. So I guess what I really wanted to say is, again, very eye-opening to guys that haven't been through this yet, like myself. If you are thinking about committing to a relationship, that, again, fine. That's totally fine. I never want to tell someone what to do. But when you move in with a woman, or she moves in with you, it's a whole different ballgame. Things that you could kind of take for granted, just you can't quite do it the same. I know, I could just list all of the guys in my life that have gotten a girlfriend and now she's a fiance, or now she lives with them, and it's a different story. There's one buddy of mine that he's like, he'll like text me to get on and play some Fortnite or something, play some video games. And then all of a sudden, sometimes it's like I jump on and literally one game later he goes, oh crap, okay, I gotta go. I'm like, what? I just got on when we were about to play. And he's like, well, so-and-so just got home. So it's like he was able to sneak around and do it when she's not there, but then when she comes home, he immediately gets off and is like, hey, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to make her upset. So again, I could sit here and we could all sit here and be like, well, that guy is doing it wrong. And yeah, I believe so. But what a post like this from Daniel helps me understand is that basically, when you get in that situation, it's going to be extremely hard to be able to say no. It's going to be a lot easier on your life if you were to just get off the video game like my buddy did, as opposed to having to deal with the drama that will come along with what you actually want to do for yourself. Can it be done? I really don't know. I've never lived through it. Can it be done when we say you could hold your masculine frame throughout? I don't think so. I think you could, but I guess the newer understanding that I have on this whole thing is that you could do everything right, but it will still, it would depend on the type of woman you're with, of whether you would be allowed to get away with that. Now, I would still say do whatever you want, and then if she doesn't put up with it, you guys break up or whatever. But if you actually put yourself into the situation of living with a woman, you will probably see how hard it is to try to live your single life, or the life you had before, with someone living with you. Again, that's why my personal advice, and I think a lot of guys that will be watching this video, would be, don't move in with her. Don't live with her. You have such a separation of privacy until you move in, and then once you move in, there's a whole bunch of can of worms that you just really don't think about. And so thank you, Daniel, for this. Thank you for that insight. And like he said at the end of this, you could guys, I'm actually not laughing because I'm laughing because it's silly. It's not funny if this happens to you about like a false domestic abuse charge. But actually, now that he brought that up, I'm going to read off a quote that I got from MGTOW Reddit, and it was from an officer. He wrote, "Don't get married, boys. Is a 21 year police veteran, I can tell you women will cheat, steal, and just before they are done with you, they will call us and accuse you of hitting or abusing her. After doing this, she will take your stuff while you're in jail. She will also file for an ex parte, I don't know what that means, and keep you out of your home while you pay for it. She will also be cleaning out the house of everything you have worked for and probably be giving it to the man she replaced you with. In 21 years, I have seen this hundreds of times. As police, we are commanded to explain how to get an ex parte. Again, I don't really know what that is. Maybe one of you guys do. And basically screw the man in the whole process. That's from a police officer, somebody that has been on the outside looking in for many times. And to anyone watching this that goes, okay, not all women are like that. Yes, I agree. Not all women are like that. But how do you know which woman will be like that? Because again, as many guys below this video will probably be able to tell you better than I myself could, is that even if the woman you are committing to would never do that right now, a woman scorned is a different woman. If a woman gets upset at you and you guys are going to break up, then that is when she has no reason to be reasonable anymore. And that is why this stuff can happen, because of the way that our society is set up, that it makes it so easy to do it, that now all it takes is a friend of hers or a friend of a friend to tell her what to do this. And if you guys have seen the movie, the Marriage Story on Netflix, it's exactly like that, where if you haven't seen that movie, basically the two main characters decide to get a divorce, and they were going to do it all without lawyers. They were going to do it very peacefully. They wanted to do what was best for the family, until the woman gets talked into getting a lawyer. And then from there, once she has the lawyer, then it starts to become dirty and play dirty, like all the tricks that they'll have. So it could be, again, not all women are like that, but could she become like that? Yeah, she could. That is why my personal opinion is, do not move in with a woman. If you want to commit, if you want to do a girlfriend thing, all that, have at it. If you want to move in with a girl, have at it, but just be warned that your life will not be the same. And yeah, anyway, thank you again, Daniel, for this. And let me know, guys, what's your story? Do you have a similar story to Daniel's? Have you moved in with a woman? What are some things that changed that you didn't know were going to change? Or some buddies of yours, if you're in a situation like mine where I've never actually lived with a woman, but I've seen, buddies and stuff like that, or friends that have been married and all that, and you see things totally change. It's almost as if you go back to the high school days where you have to check in with your parents to do things. At least I did with my parents, and I had great parents. I'm glad they made me. I might have gone off the deep end if they didn't, but it's like you become a kid again. When you commit to a woman and you live with her, or you get married, you become a kid again. You have to check in with somebody. And again, you don't have to check in, but if you don't, there will be some stuff to pay behind the scenes that she'll put you through. All right, guys. Anyway, hope that helps. And again, thank you, Daniel. Don't forget, subscribe, like, comment, share the video, but definitely subscribe. Peace.